there is a lot of debate about comprehensible input, especially online and on YouTube, particularly. Comprehensible input, popularized by Stephen Krashen, is basically learning a language by reading and listening and watching content in the language. And a lot of people believe that that's the only thing you should be doing until you understand the language really well, and so on and so forth. I disagree. I think comprehensible input is really useful, really important. You should do it. It helps learn vocabulary and grammar and context and so on. But it's not the only thing you should do, and it's not the most efficient way to learn by itself. It's a part of the. It should be a part. It should be a part, an important part of a more uh, complete learning plan that should include memorization of vocabulary, speaking exercises, and so on from the very first day. And what I'm going to do now is an experiment in which I will try to learn two languages from scratch, two difficult languages. You can already see where this is going. I'm going to try to learn two languages from scratch, one with input only. I will only use input for one of the languages, and for the other one, I will not do any input at all. I mean, I don't mean that I won't read or listen to the language at all, because obviously I have to learn the words from somewhere, right? But for one of the languages, I will not read content. I will not read stories. I will not listen to stories. I will not watch videos, anything like that. I will not listen to audio materials. The only thing I will do is memorize vocabulary, do listening and repeating drills with individual sentences. No listening to mini stories, none of that, no link. I'll memorize vocab. I'll memorize my own sentences from the language islands. I'll do listening and repeating drills, and I will translate those sentences. I'll do retrieval practice, and then I will translate them into the language as well to eliminate mistakes. Yeah, so I will do everything else: memorization of vocabulary, listening and repeating drills, retrieval practice, translation, everything except comprehensible input or any kind of input. No extensive input. That's what I mean. Obviously, I have to read the sentences. If I'm going to memorize sentences, a list of sentences, I have to read the sentences. But I will not read them over and over again, or I will not read stories. I will not read anything else. I will just memorize the sentences with associations and then do active recall. So basically, look at the translation and try to remember the sentence. Try to remember how to say the sentence in the language. Try to say it. See if I got it correctly. You know the drill. I've got those exercises. I've got tutorials on my channel. I'll do all of that for one language, and I'll do the complete opposite. Only input for the other language. And the languages are, you guys are right, one of them is Korean, and the other one is Hindi. They're very different languages. I know absolutely nothing about either of them. And I'm going to, although I do have some idea of how the Korean alphabet works. It's not as complicated as Chinese or Japanese. It's phonetic, so I think I'll be able to learn it just by input. I know some of them already. Someone explained it to me in a bar once. But yeah, I don't know much Korean. I've been testing it a little bit. You can see here. Basically, I'll try to get as much input as possible for Korean. And for Hindi, I'll memorize vocabulary, and I will do listening and repeating drills. I will do language islands, translation into the language. I will try to dedicate the same amount of time to both languages. I will end up spending more time with Korean probably because doing input, it's one of the advantages of input. I can already see that. Doing input is easier. It's less effort. You just play the video, watch it. You play the audio, listen to it. Yeah, I can work out and listen to Korean. Well, I can't. If I'm not doing input, I can't do that with Hindi. So input has that advantage. But I think I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I think I will improve faster, way faster in Hindi, because the initial stage, when you don't know much vocab, it's going to take time for me to learn words, just by a lot of time to learn words by just by input. But instead, with Hindi, I'll just memorize long lists. I'll memorize 1,000 most common words, 500 most common verbs, and then all the vocab from my language islands. And yeah. So I think I'll go faster in Hindi. It will also be more work. It's more effort, harder work, but I think it's going to be more effective. Honestly, we'll see. Also, doing listening and repeating drills will probably make my Hindi improve way faster. My spoken Hindi improve way faster than my Korean. But again, we'll see. Maybe I highly doubt it, but maybe the input Taliban correct, and my Korean improves way faster. And I'm not gonna cheat, by the way. I'm gonna do exactly what I'm saying I will do. I will try to. If I've got an hour, I'll spend 30 minutes with each language. If I've got 45 minutes, I spend 20 with each language. And that's it. Let's see how this goes. I'll update in a few days. I'm gonna start memorizing Hindi now, and then doing some reading and listening in Korean, and see how this goes. My prediction again is that I will improve faster in Hindi with memorization and listening and repeating drills and language islands. But we'll see. We'll see how an input only approach works. Anyway, stay tuned to see some results, how this goes. See you in a few days with the first results of the experiment.